Oh, man, another Achilles injury. This is so terrible to see. I apologize, my voice is a little bit weird because I'm suffering from a cold, but I'll be fine. This time, this Achilles injury might have changed the outcome to the NBA championship. If you've been following my content, you know that I practice clinical neurology and I can spot tightness on professional and elite athletes. So just stay with me and I'll get to how I know that he had tightness and how I would have treated it differently. But first, you need to know the background of the injury and how it developed. Tyrese Haliburton suffered a calf strain in the series against OKC. The injury was in Game 4. As you can see here, it was at the top of the key and is a classic non-contact injury. This is where he pushes off or he drives off of the back of his right leg and he strains his calf muscle. He wasn't able to play in Game 5, and of course, Indiana lost that game. However, in Game 6, Haliburton played well, and with 14 points in 23 minutes, he forced a Game 7. It's pretty obvious to me that he had ongoing tightness in his right posterior extremity. He has the same move here, so he's really good at it, so he's developed some plasticity. If you'd like to know more about how I know he had tightness and how I would have detected it, go to my website at www.weaverneurosport.com and you can see the different testing that clinical neurology performs. But first, I got something exciting. I'm currently accepting 2 elite or pro athletes and offering a free 1-day consultation and examination, which includes all of these diagnostic tests that you'll find. This is normally around $3,000, but you have nothing to lose and everything to gain in order to spot where you're building tightness and probably injuries down the road if you haven't had a nuisance one already. However, I can only have spots for 2 athletes, so email me at drweaver@weaverneurosport.com, and the first 2 athletes that qualify will qualify for these examinations. But okay, let's go back to Haliburton. It looks like he's hypertonic or tight in that right posterior extremity. Or we could just say the back of his right leg is really, really tight. This is ultimately the reason for a calf strain. Remember, we strain tight muscles, not weak muscles. And we develop tendonitis in weak muscles where the tendon attaches to the bone. However, in order for somebody to tear an Achilles to this extent, and this is classic, it completely torn, you can see here in the video, it had to be super duper tight. So I would have treated this significantly different, and I would have established where his tightness is. I would never, ever have tried to strengthen his calf, and I'll bet that was done. I'll bet you there was calf strengthening exercises. You could use a plethora of techniques to turn off the tightness in that posterior compartment. Here's a few, as you can see. At minimum, I would have used kinesio tape and strapped that leg so he wouldn't have been able to pull on that Achilles as much and ultimately ruptured it. If you'd like to know more, just keep following and let me know. Do you think if Haliburton was able to play in Game 7, would that have changed the outcome and Indiana would have been the champions? Or do you believe that it was set and it didn't really matter because they were outclassed by OKC?